Welcome, race fans, once again to Max Speed TV. We tonight are bringing you the NOSCAR Racing League presented by Max Speed TV. Looks like we got about 26 Xfinity drivers in the race tonight, so I do expect it to be a good one. But before we get to all of that, we do want to go through all the sponsors here on Max Speed TV that make it possible for us to do what we do. Starting with Performance PCs, they are the official water cooling and modification company of Max Speed TV. SimSpeedShop.com, definitely check them out. They are our newest partner here on Max Speed TV. You can check them out at SimSpeedShop.com or just SimSpeedShop on Facebook. HRE Motorsports and Elite 7 Racing, check out both of them on their Facebook pages by looking up HRE Motorsports or Elite 7 Racing and give them a like on their page. And virtual2reality.tv, we do give away 3-month codes for new people to get on iRacing from time to time. That may happen tonight. We'll see how that goes. We may give one of those away out later tonight. But right now, we are here in practice mode for, again, the NASCAR Racing League presented by Max Speed TV. I am not alone in the booth tonight. Tonight we do have a helper, Brandon Kaufman. So first off, Brandon, welcome to the booth, and how's everything going tonight?
Good. It's nice to be back up in the booth with you, Charles. Got a lot of cars checked into pit road tonight, and it's bound to be a good race. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely watching. Looks like we have Mikey Neal is the fastest driver right now with a 55.733. So last time we had you in the booth, we were talking about 15-second laps, a little slower, or faster, I guess you can say, not slower, a little faster than last time. These times are a little bit slower, but it is a lot bigger track. It's 2.5 miles compared to a half mile, so this should make for a very interesting night of racing.
Yeah, definitely a lot of changes since last time I was in the booth. You know, we have not doing open wheel cars like the modifieds, and like you said, they're about 45-second lap times slower. So, but it's going to be interesting to see. I haven't watched many Xfinity races here at Pocono, so not really sure what to expect. But from what practice looks like, it's going to be good.
Yeah, it's interesting. We were just finished up a truck race. Now we're moving to Xfinity. All we need to finish up the weekend is to watch a cup race. So we would do the all 3 series here, but unfortunately we aren't going to be able to complete that. But speaking of all 3, again, we don't want to bring it up too much. We don't want to jinx these drivers. But you mentioned it earlier. This is the Tricky Triangle. This is a very tough track to drive.
Oh yeah, for sure. With 3 turns, I heard guys talking about having to shift to get faster lap times, which you hear about that in real life too, with drivers having to adapt to shifting. But every turn is different. You know, you're on almost 200 miles per hour down into turn 1, and then got to prepare for the tunnel turn, which is just, you know, every turn is their own animal, so it's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. We were watching earlier, for anyone just tuning in. We've actually been in here for quite some time. They had about an hour and a half or more practice. And they were running some pit parties here and did fairly well. We didn't see anybody missing shifts or anything like that. So I don't see too many cautions. It is Pocono, so you are going to have at least 1 caution, probably 2 or more. But the skill level here looks pretty good, so as far as the driver-wise, I don't see us having too many cautions. So about a minute a lap, we should be about an hour to an hour and a half or so, because again, I do expect to see at least 1 or 2 cautions, but not too many. These guys know what they're doing here, so it should be a very interesting race.
Yeah, the hardest part of this track, from what I've seen, is just people trying to get onto pit road. I've already seen a few guys try to get down. You know, you're coming off of turn 3 so fast, and you know, right there's pit road entry, and you got to get down to, I believe, 55. I'm not sure what pit road speed is here, but either way, you're coming off that corner at 150 plus. And I've seen it in real life too with professional drivers, you know, spinning out, and with Casey Kane going into the inside of the pit wall. And so I'm looking to see if we get some close racing tonight, what it's going to be like when pit road, when it comes time to pit.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. But I do believe they run a limited fuel. I'm not 100% on that. So that will force them to have to make some pit stops. And like you said, pit stops are a little tricky here, the way you have to come in there. And we saw people in practice locking up the brakes, getting a little sideways and throwing some smoke there, just trying to get it stopped in time. So that could make or break your night here during the race. I mean, 60 laps, that's quite a bit. So you have time to make it up, but it's still not something you want to do.
Yeah, I have a feeling that repetition is what's going to win the race tonight. Like you said, we're not sure what the fuel is looking like, but you know, hitting your marks on pit road, hitting your marks around the track, because every turn is different. So it is kind of like a road course almost, how you have to enter these turns and really watch your throttle control, because that outside wall will sneak up on you real quick.
Yeah, definitely. And if I recall, this track, pit road, getting to it and getting off of it is, or at least getting onto it is a little tricky too. I believe it is on or off. One of these, I believe it's the right track, it might not be. But I know getting onto this one particularly, in particular, it's kind of weird because you literally have a head of steam coming and you have to just abruptly turn and come to a stop nearly to get to it. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some people get some speeding penalties here tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be something you're going to want to watch out for. And, you know, you can pit and you won't go a lap down here, but you don't want to be messing with penalties, because you definitely are not going to want to be put behind at all, because it is hard to make up time on this track, especially with everybody having to shift, and you don't know when cautions are going to come out, if they do come out. So you got to really take all that into consideration and put your best effort to not get a penalty on pit road.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like we actually have 27 drivers now. Brian Grubbs just coming in here, getting in here. Hasn't even completed a lap yet, but he is about to do so here. He's on the front stretch. But again, at 27 drivers, it's going to be a blast. Definitely, I can't wait to get to qualifying here in about 12, 13 minutes and kind of see who's going to be up at the top and who's going to be towards the middle of the back here. It could all change. I mean, we've seen races here before. Just because you're at the front of this race doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win. You could very well have a big pile up at the start, or coming into a turn. Again, you talked about how tricky these corners are, and the way this track is designed, there's a lot of speed in it, and if you get 2 or 3 cars wadded up together, you very well could collect anywhere from 10 or plus cars in a big pile up.
Oh yeah, especially on the initial start of this race and the restarts, when they do go double file, they usually don't stay like that. Once the green flag comes out, like we saw in practice, people going 4 wide, even maybe trying 5 wide, which isn't going to work going into turn 1, especially at the speeds they're going. And the bottom lane is a preferred lane in turn 1. So it's going to be interesting to see if maybe we do have some people cutting people off or getting down too close to that apron and getting loose. I saw that earlier too. But this is the last race of the season for these guys. It looks like last week they did go to Dover, and this week Pocono is the last race of the season, and your current points leader is Dean Heck, and he's currently sitting P4 on the practice charts. And then you do have the second place in the points, Justin Starr, and he's currently down in 18th. So we've got a little work to do to pass up Dean Heck for the points lead, and Justin Starr is 28 points behind. Yeah,
definitely, and if they finish the way they're practicing right now, it looks like Dean Heck probably would get the championship. I'm assuming, I'm not sure what their points standings or breakdown goes for those points, but if they're separated by only 1 point, that would literally require about 19 place difference in the race here in order for him to get by him. So that's going to be interesting. We'll keep an eye on those two throughout the night. You never want to see a driver out of a race, but obviously Justin Starr's best chance, you know, Dean Heck maybe getting taken out of this race early on, or having troubles there or something, and finishing back in the field and him getting a good finish here would be his best case scenario for points wise. It's almost going to have to be how it has to be if he wants to get the championship here.
Yeah, for sure. As long as Dean Heck hits his marks and puts and comes out of this night with a strong finish, he's definitely going to get that championship. And we also have third place sitter in the points, Dan Butler. He's currently sitting P13 in the standings, so it looks like Dean Heck did figure this track out, and he's going to prove it tonight if he is the champion.
Yeah, definitely. We know he's fast. We've seen him race before, so it'll be very interesting. If he does officially crown the champion, we'll definitely try to get him in there for an interview after this race, along with the top 3 if he's not already in there anyway. It looks like we got about 9.5 minutes left. They're all on pit road. Last time we saw this, they gathered up and went for a pit party, so we may see them go for another pit party here, or they could be in a driver's meeting right now, but everybody is actually on pit road except for the 7 car of Brett, so he is going to do so now. He is actually pulling it to a stop. The 4 cars out there as well, sorry about that. But everybody, for the most part, is pulling it to pit road.
Yeah, like you said, with about 9 minutes left, probably just going over some rules, making sure they want to make sure that this race is going to be a good one to put on a show. So never hurts to go over some rules and remind people of what the rules are.
Yeah, definitely not. Just about every form of racing does have some form of driver's meeting before. And it looks like the 4 is going to keep coming out. He may have some work he has to do on. I'm not 100% sure. I looked at their website earlier, but I'm not remember if this is open or fixed setup. If it's open setup, these guys may have to do a little tweak to these cars to see if they can't get them right for themselves for the race here.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not sure if it is open or fixed either, but I don't know much about setting up these cars, but the time difference between these drivers definitely looks like it may be an open thing, because they're about 2-second difference between the guy in first and the guy in last in the standings now for practice. So, but yeah, it does look like the 4 car pulled off. Doesn't look like he was in TeamSpeak, so they got communication to him, and he is off the track now.
Yeah, definitely, but it looks like we got about 7.5 minutes or so before qualifying. We too have some videos and sponsor stuff to play for the league here, so we are going to step away for just a minute here and get to those videos for them, and we will be right back here in just a few minutes.
This February 2018 is the NOSCAR XFINITY Series on Sunday nights. Join in on the action. Apply now.
Alright folks, we are back here. Again, just had to pay the bills with some sponsor ads and some videos from the league that they asked us to play there. But we did find out while we were away, it is fixed series. So that means they can't really tune on these too much. But it will make it for a very interesting race. Everyone will be pretty much on the, we'll be on the same setup, on the same playing field. That will make it very even here. Again, looks like they are in a driver's meeting at the moment. We have about 3.5 minutes. It looks like a few more drivers are about to come out. Looks like Roger Mirth is going to come out here onto the track, and Mikey Neal. Two drivers going to come out here and get a little practice in. And we got about 3.5 minutes. So, no, we have never broadcast this before, so we'll let the chat know. Let us know who you want to win. You got any fans out there for any of these drivers? And Brandon, do you have any predictions who you think's gonna come away with the victory here tonight?
I don't know, man. They've been putting some fast times up. Like you said, it's fixed now, so it's really just the driver. I'm gonna have to go with. Let's go with Wendell Elliott sitting there in second place. You know, you can't pick the first guy, but. Second place, Wendell Elliott. I'm predicting he's going to bring it home tonight.
Yeah, if I had to pick a prediction, I don't know. So many. These guys are all pretty close together there. I'm going to put my money on the 19 of Brian Grubbs. He came in late and jumped right up to 5th place here on the fastest times. So I'm going to put my money on him tonight. We'll see how he does and see how our predictions come out. Again, we don't really know any of these guys. We've never broadcast this series before, but definitely a great-looking series. They got a lot of drivers, 27 here total. Yeah, I'm going to put my money on Ryan Grubbs in the 19.
Yeah, it's really anybody in that top 5 or 6 guys there. You know, they have a chance, and you never know. Over the course of the night, you may, people have to adapt and learn, and if they figure out where to shift or where to get back into the throttle before everybody else, or get a little bit of an advantage, that could make a big change in the long run, and you might see somebody come mid-pack and win this thing.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We keep saying it, but it is going to be a great race. To see this many cars, 27 cars for 60 laps. So, I mean, 60, if you do the math, 60 times 2.5 miles. That is a lot of time, a lot of miles around this track. So I can promise you this, these drivers will be very tired after this race. That is going to be a lot of turning to the left.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, it does come out to 150 miles. So, yeah, definitely not a short little 15-second lap time, but these cars have the power to get around here, and they have the power to race really clean and really good. So I've seen it in real life here, side-by-side racing the whole way around. So it's going to be interesting. We're getting ready to find out here at less than a minute until qualifying.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really curious. Just looking here, I was watching Brian Grubbs again to bring him up since he wants my prediction to win. He just jumped to 3rd fastest now with a 55.811. So he is moving forward. He came in late, so he didn't get but about 30, well, less than about 20 minutes of practice, but he is definitely moving up through this field.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm looking here on the standings page, and it does look like he does have 1 win so far this season. Looks like it was at actually last week at or no, the first race of the season at Auto Club. He did get the win. So. And a lot of consistent finishes for him, so you may be right. I might have to owe you some money at the end of this one.
Well, yeah, we'll just call it even. But yeah, you never know. Anything can happen. As it looks like qualifying is now underway. There is the green flag. So 10 minutes of qualifying. I didn't pay attention to that earlier. I was thinking it would be 5, but this is a big track, so they get 10 minutes to come out here and qualify. So we'll see. Looks like right now, the first one I can see is Dean Heck out on the track. But we'll give these guys a minute to come around here, get some laps in, and then we'll start. We're getting those to y'all out on the stream. But again, Dean Heck, we watched him. He was at the top here, speed-wise. So this is fixed setup, so you can't really take a whole lot of fuel out, or any fuel for that matter. So they are running on race trim probably right now. So we'll see kind of what they can do. A lot of rubber has been laid on this track already. It's going to be interesting. This track is just going to get tighter and tighter with that grip being laid down from all that rubber.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, with that really long practice, the track did have some time to get some rubber laid down on it. It is 86 degrees currently. Not too bad for the track temperature, but they do have a 17x incident point limit here in this series, so I'm not sure if anyone's going to reach that here at this track, but just something to watch out for if somebody ends up getting disqualified.
Yeah, I would imagine if we see anybody get anywhere close to that, it's probably going to be for that outside wall. It seems to be coming out of the turn, especially turn 1. I've noticed it a lot. A lot of people overestimate or underestimate how much speed they have and get into that outside wall. And if you hit it hard enough, that's 2x there. So I would imagine if anybody does it, that is going to be the case.
Yeah, for sure. You would think with the track being as wide as it is that those outside barriers wouldn't sneak up on you like they do, but they definitely get, especially when you have a car on the outside of you or a car on the inside of you that's pushing you out of your lane where you want to be, and just a little too much throttle at the wrong time, or not, if you're not aware of your tire wear, can get you up in the wall. And then I mean, aerodynamics is a factor here at a track like this, especially with this long straightaway. So you don't want to get any damage, especially on the front end.
Yeah, definitely. And the times are starting to roll in. And Dean Heck does have the fastest time right now with a 55.734. David Gainworth, we haven't talked about him a whole lot, but right now he has now the fourth fastest time with a 56.307. As we were talking about earlier, Justin Starr, the number 99, currently with a 56.241, back in third place.
Yeah, he definitely put a pretty nice time up there. We don't have many times in. We still have more than half the field to set their qualifying time, but the people that put their times up, you know, the fast times in practice were high 55s. Like Dean Heck ran there, the 55.7. But you have Jamir Muhammad right there behind him with a 55.8. That's not too far off. And then Justin Starr there with a 56.0. So, oh, actually, no, that's John. Oh, they're all switching around.
Yeah, John Mustaine. Hopefully you get that right. Mustaine Jr. just put in a 56.086 to take fourth. So, yeah, like you said, they're still mixing it up. So it's going to be interesting. I do expect this to change up a little bit. Like you said, we've only had 10 cars put in laps, and we still have over half the field that is on, some of these on the track, but haven't put in times just yet.
Yeah, we got a few more there. Ryan Wilson putting in a time. But yeah, these top fives, they were switching around a lot, and like you said, we still have more than half the field, so we could have somebody jump up there that we haven't talked about all night.
Yeah, definitely. We will keep an eye on those top drivers there to see if those do change there in our top 5. And you can also do the same thing on the overlays if you're watching, as it looks like Reese Milton is going to do it. Third place there, 55.966. So there's somebody, like you said, we have not talked about during practice, but they just took third fastest here. So this could get very interesting.
Yeah, for sure. And just as we say that, there goes the guy I have my money on tonight, Wendell Elliott, up to the top with a 55.6. That's one of the fastest times I've seen tonight.
Yeah, definitely. He's got almost second, or almost a tenth over Dean Heck, as he's got him by .068. So that is going to be a very interesting. Right now, he does have a 1.7 or a 0.7 or 0.176, so we can get it right here. Lead over Jamir Muhammad, so that could be a factor there. He has definitely got the time, so you may be right on your pick here. As we're looking in, it looks like Roger Muth is going to come out onto the track now, and he will start a time lap here out of turn 1. So it's going to be very interesting. Like I said, we haven't seen any of these drivers other than today in practice here in qualifying. So during practice, they seem to be very good at keeping their lines and having a good pit parties there. They did about 2 or 3 of those. But you know, during practice you kind of lay back a little more. Once you're in the race mode, you don't give and take as much as you used to, or you do in practice. It's here you're out for a win, and that's really the only thing that matters at the end of the day. It's a good points battle and trying to get that win.
Yeah, well, like we said, it is the last race of the season. These guys do want to finish up this season with a good finish. And, you know, they're going to really do anything they can to get that finish today. I mean, this is their last chance. So, but I did hear over here in the drivers' meeting, they were saying just watch going into turn 1 because you don't want to ruin your race and ruin everybody else's race in turn 1. Yeah,
definitely. And this is one of those tracks that it's fairly easy if one car does get into the outside wall. Some tracks you look at like Bristol, if you get up into the wall, it is a self-sweeping track. Everything does come back down. This track isn't necessarily like that. If you get into that inside wall, you can kind of stick it up there like a magnet, and people can get by you. So everyone has to be on their toes here and make sure if you see someone get into that wall, you can't just immediately jerk the car the other way. Give them time because they're probably not going to come off, and you could probably get by them for the most part. That's what's going to cause it, is someone getting into the wall and then a knee-jerk reaction of somebody trying to avoid them, and that is typically where you see those multi-car wrecks happen.
Yeah, definitely, and especially when cars come off of the corner, you're usually riding about the same line here if you're following somebody, and if you come off the corner and you get into the wall, there's a good chance you might get rear-ended and ruin another guy's race because you just lose so much momentum getting into the wall here, and you definitely don't want to ruin your nose by having somebody check up in front of you, and they might even just check up just to not get into the wall, and then just that much momentum difference will carry you right into the back of them.
Yeah, and we saw it a little bit in practice. We saw people getting into the back of each other, and we even saw some people getting airborne there, so you got to be careful for that. And the grass here, I don't know what it is about this grass. It is not forgiving. It seems like anybody that gets into it definitely will turn around or get into that guardrail on the inside. And that guardrail is not forgiving at all. It will destroy whatever part of your car touches it. So, again, all that's going to be looking for, we'll see who all is going to hit that, who's going to stay out of it. We'll see how many cars are left. Right now, 20 cars have officially put in time, so we still have 7 cars that have not taken times. But it looks like we actually are going to have to step away for just a minute and get to the National Anthem. So we will be right back after the National Anthem here in just a few minutes.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here. Everyone getting ready, so it looks like they are coming on the track. So we're going to go through your HRE Motorsports starting grid. So if you want to run through that, Brandon, we will get the overlays up on the screen for you.
Sure, sounds good. Getting the pole while we were away. He also sat on the pole last week. Is Mikey Neal, so he's bringing home the pole for this week. Starting second, we have Wendell Elliott. Third place is going to go to Dean Heck. Fourth place is going to go to Jameer Muhammad. Fifth place, we do have Reese Milton. Sixth place will be Brian Dorsey. Seventh place, we'll have David Gainforth. Eighth place, we have John Mustaine Jr. Ninth place goes to Dalton Williamson. And rounding out your top 10 is Justin Starr. 11th place is going to go to Roger Muth. 12th place goes to John Johnson. 13th place goes to Len McNeese. 14th is going to be Dan Butler. 15th place goes to Jim Locking. 16th place goes to Jack Fellers. 17th place will be Charles Hoffman. 18th place will be Chad the Astronomer Isner. 19th place goes to James Zirk. 20th place will be Ryan Wilson 5. Hold on, it's glitching out here. Does yours say Brian Grubbs for 21st?
Jason Covington.
Okay, so 21st goes to Jason Covington. 22nd will go to Brian Grubbs. 23rd will be Randy McCanney. 24th will go to Mike Mahoney. 25th will be Dennis Ellis. 25th, wait, is that right? I messed up. 26th will be Matthew Ellis, and then rounding out the field in 27th will be Brett Misservy. Don't know why that was all glitching out. Sorry about that.
That stuff does happen every once in a while, but again, there's 27 cars in here, and we are getting ready. The lights are already out on the pace truck, so that means we are our pace car. We've been dealing with trucks all day, but pace car here today. Again, we got a few pace cars, so we never know which one we're getting, but the lights are off, so we should get the green flag this time by. Again, we'll see here. It looks like Jason Covington missed the start, so I'm not sure what's there. The number 10 is not on the track.
Yeah, he was the one. It showed him blinking and glitching out. He was the one that kind of messed up the lineup there, but yeah, it showed him blinking in and out. And now it looks like he is disconnecting. He doesn't, shows him in gray, so.
Well, there it is. Regardless, green flag is out. Not like the dirt track starts we're used to seeing, where they just take off. These cars take a little bit to get going. We are officially racing here for the first of 60 laps, and we'll see. It's going to be interesting. Your guy, Wendell Elliott, is out front over Mikey Neal right now. So Mikey Neal did get the pole, but quickly Wendell Elliott did get by him. So it looks like if they run the way they are, it looks like he may take the lead and possibly lead the first lap.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. It looks like John Mustaine Jr. into pit road. It looks like he did flip out over the catch fence and did not bring out a caution, but he's now in pit road, the blown engine already. Yeah,
that's what I was just looking at myself. Yeah, John Mustaine Jr. and Matthew Ellis out of the race. They are on pit road. James Zirk on pit road as well. So 3 cars very quickly on pit road from the back of this, and for the most part they've kind of single filed out here towards the front, so we'll go back around 10th place or so. Let's see if we can't find some battles going on. There is one right now going on for 11th, Brian Grubbs and Justin Starr. Those two are side by side, the number 19 and the number 99. That's probably the best battle we have going on right now towards the front of this field. Is the front 9 have really kind of singled out.
Yeah, for sure. And we have a few more cars coming to pit road with some front end damage. I'm not sure what happened there, but we do have like 5 or 6 cars on the pit road.
Yeah, that'd be Jack Fellers and Chad Eisner, the astronaut. So all of those two adding to the group on pit road. Again, 5 drivers on pit road. Ryan Wilson is on pit road as well. So very interesting, very early, but no caution. That's the very interesting part about it. It was at the back of the field, so iRacing didn't deem that it was a necessary caution. So we are staying green as we are now on lap 3 of 60. So again, they run about a minute a lap here, so this could get very interesting as now the 99 to Justin Starr is back to 13. Dan Butler did get by him for that position, the number 21.
Yeah, for sure. That whole group there is definitely where all the action's happening. As looks like your leader, Wendell Elliott, is almost a second ahead of second place Mikey Neal already. So we're just going to have to keep watching through the field for these battles. And I'm not sure if some of these guys are shifting yet already. I know in real life they don't always shift in the beginning, but towards the middle, once a tire start wearing off. But I'm not sure what these guys' strategies are.
Yeah, definitely. We're looking here from the front of this field, and literally probably the first 20 cars, the entire field at this point that are on the track, 20 to 21 cars, everybody single file out. So we're going to have to look to see if we can find any passing going on right now, as these guys are very good at what they do here, it looks like, and they're kind of going to just bide their time and see if they can't get a pass, as it looks like right now maybe the 76 of Reese Milton is going to try to get a pass here on Brian Dorsey in 5th position, see if he can't get a top 5, but he thought better of it and kind of tucked back in there.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a lot of single file. You see this a lot here with these cars. It looks like the 11 there, the 11 of Dalton Williamson looking to the inside of the 76 of Reese Milton there, trying to get some action going there. Yeah,
again, and that's like the only one. As he's going to really take it to the inside now. He's in that lane, and he's going to actually tuck back in once again. As we want to go back here, check in. Back by Justin Starr, Dan Butler. I believe that is the 21 that's trying to make a move here. No, it's not. It's actually the 63 back here. 63 and the 44 battling Charles Hoffman and Lee McNeese back here going for it. The 44 is trying to make a move of it to see if he can't get by the 63 for a 14th place spot right there, and he may do it. Again, it's so hard to seem to get by these cars. If you get too low, this car will get very loose. We used to see this in the trucks all the time. If you get too low, the car will just break loose, and you have no control over it at that point.
Yeah, and once that happens, your best bet's probably to let off the gas, and like we said earlier, losing any momentum here is really detrimental because you don't know who's coming up behind you at what speed. So you want to try to keep the car underneath you at all times, especially at a track like this.
Yeah, definitely, and still seeing everybody single filed out. If you notice, we have a bit of little groups here that have spanned out. If you take a look here to your top 3, or top 2 have kind of got out there. Wendell Elliott and Mikey Neal up there, and you have a little bit of a gap to 3rd place, a gap of about 2.149 seconds, and there's 2 there, and then you'll go back to the 55 of Brian Dorsey, Reese Milton, and Dalton Williamson. Those are kind of divided into groups here of 2 and 3, so each little group having this battle is the 76, and Reese Milton's going to try to make another pass on the 55.
Yeah, for sure, and it was, it looks now like Mikey Neal did reel in your leader, Wendell Elliott, there about the last, or 2 laps ago. Had about half a second gap from his previous second gap, but now it is back up to 0.8 seconds, so not sure if Wendell Elliott had a mistake, or he is blinking a little bit, so hopefully that doesn't affect anything, though.
Yeah, he very well could have maybe got into the wall or something if he's blinking there, and that slowed him down just a little bit. And what I just noticed ahead of Wendell Elliott, there for a second, I don't see him anymore. It looked like there might have been a lap car, or a potential lap car, ahead of them.
But Chad, the astronaut.
Yeah, there he is in front of them. We'll see just how close. He is in front of them, but I see it'll probably be at least a few laps before they are on the straightaway with him, though. And right now he's 1 lap down, has quite a bit of damage. As you can see right there now, about 15 to 20 car difference, but we're talking Chad's running 57 second laps to 55 second laps for your leader, Wendell Elliott. So they will reel him in at 2 seconds to 3 seconds a lap. They will catch him very quickly.
Oh yeah, no doubt, and that's exactly what Chad's not looking for, because he is currently the first car 1 lap down. He's the only car 1 lap down, so he would be in the lucky dog position if a caution were to come out. So he's probably going to try all he can to stay on the lead lap. I don't know if they have any specific rules on lap cars in this series, but you know, if I was him, I don't know. He has a lot of damage on that car. I don't know if I'd put up a fight.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough battle. You never want to get in the way of these leaders, but at the same time, he's not a lap down, so he's going to want to fight for that. As we look here, the 85 Mikey Neal just got a little out of shape there. These tires must be starting to wear just a little bit, and we're only 9 laps into this race. So if tires are going to wear that quick, this could get very interesting. We may see somebody self-spin, and that may be your first caution.
Yeah, for sure. You know, you say we're only 9 laps into this. Well, it's almost 14 miles on these tires already, and, you know, the speeds they're going at every turn is different, like we said, so there's different pressures going on each tire. Everything's wearing weird. So your car definitely, you know, this track's not meant for comfort. Your car is going to act up all night. It's only going to get worse as these tires have more wear on them.
Yeah, definitely. And it looks like you have the 63. That is Charles Hoffman's going to try to make a move on the 99 of Justin Starr back here, back for 14th position. 13th was what Justin Starr has. And now Justin Starr is going to try to make a move on Dan Butler. So you know, only 10 of 60 laps now. People are already starting to dip out a little bit more, trying to get those passes. They realize, even though it's only 10 laps in the books, you need to get up to the front. If you don't, your chances of winning go out the window by every lap, especially if we're not going to have any cautions here. You have to get to the front. You can't rely on this field bunching back up and going for it that way.
Yeah, for sure. The way it looks, it's not looking like we're going to have any cautions, but we don't want to jinx anything. But like you said, we are probably going to expect, I would guess, with the limited fuel, I don't know if they run 50% or what they do, but probably about halfway is probably when they're set to pit. So that's a long way away. We're only 10 laps through this, so we still have 20 more laps until we even reach halfway.
Yeah, definitely, and we'll see. We didn't get a chance to check out the site, though, their website for fuel, but I do believe they run limited fuel, so they are going to have to pit. The question is, are they going to pit for fuel or tires? That is going to be a very interesting question for these guys. And if we get a caution, maybe we'll get one of these drivers up here and talk to them. But are they going to play a fuel strategy? If it is limited fuel, are they going to pit for tires? Is right now we have 11 laps on these tires, and like you said, that's a lot of miles on these tires. It's not like 11 laps with your street car driving around your neighborhood. You're doing 180 miles an hour, picking up all sorts of debris and rubber, and who knows what else is on this track right now, and it wears those tires very quickly.
Yeah, for sure. I've seen races here where fuel mileage has won the race and where tires have won the race. You usually ends up with one guy trying a fuel mileage strategy while the other guy has new tires, and then they end up meeting in the middle, and then it always makes for a good race and a good finish. But I don't know what the strategy is for these guys. It's still a little early in this race. We do have a few cars knocked out of the race already, but you know, when it comes down to pitting, we do have a few groups real close together, so it's going to be interesting to watch and see them get to pit road. And I know they have to stay to the right, in the right lane down pit road until they're 3 pit stalls away from their stall. I don't know if they get fined or get a penalty for that, but they are following what NASCAR rules are. So they're going to be follow the leader. Not really much to gain on pit road.
Yeah, definitely. And we just got Ryan Wilson let us know in chat 60% fuel. So they do have limited fuel. So it's going to be very interesting. I do expect to see some people run this on fuel, and some people run for tires. And we'll see after the race at those interviews which one of them pays off for them. As right now, we have another lap car coming up. Wendell Elliott looks like he's catching the 18 car, I believe. No, the 28. He's catching, there he is finally, at Chad Eisner, the astronaut, back in 21st place, if I could talk right today. and he's actually going to let him by pretty easy. He's not going to battle him. That car looks like it may come through re-entry earlier. It's got a ton of damage to the front of that car.
Yeah, for sure. And these, you know, he actually stayed one lap down longer than I thought he was going to. I thought for sure those leaders were going to catch him faster than that, but this just goes to show that the tires aren't what they were 14 laps ago. So, like you said, I don't know if they're going to pit for tires. I would always go for tires. I'm a tire guy, so the more comfort I have underneath my car, the better I am. But then you always have that one guy that can drive no matter what, it seems, and put a little bit of fuel in there, and then they're good to go.
Yeah, I was just looking at that when you were mentioning it. As your leader, Wendell Elliott, right now in the number 4 machine, taking a look at him, his fastest time when he started this session, or the race here, was a 55.913. His last lap, a 57.393, so about 2 seconds off his fastest lap. So that goes to show you these tires are wearing very quickly here as they're losing time, big time. And that's probably the reason they didn't catch Chad in the 28 as fast. He's running 58, so it was actually only about a second difference on those tires.
Yeah, for sure. And this might be good. This might be good if you have damage on your car in the late run, especially if there's not a late caution where you may have a chance at getting a top 5 or a top 10 if you do have a little bit of damage, because the tire wear will eventually even that out.
Yeah, definitely. And we're just going through the fields here looking for some battles going on. It looks like possibly that's the battle we have going on right now. Again, that's Roger Muth, hopefully we get that right, and David Gainsworth, Chad Johnson getting in here too. So that's probably the best battle we have going on right now, as they've kind of single filed out too. So 15 laps in, we're I believe that's about a quarter of the way if my math is correct. So this is going to be interesting. Divide this up into 4 segments here. One segment's kind of already done. We still have 3 more to go.
Yeah, you did say that Ryan Wilson did say in chat about 60% fuel. Well, Ryan Wilson is now onto the track, and he's going to complete his first lap. He was involved in that first lap accident with those few cars there, but it's nice to see him back out, and his car seems to be running pretty good, so hopefully he can get some laps down and complete most of this race.
Yeah, again, 15 laps down, but we do have Jason Covington out of the race, John Mustang Jr. out of the race, so he will get by those guys. Matthew Ellis out of the race as well, so he has a lot to gain. I mean, it's only 3 positions, but that is at least 3 points more towards, again, it is the last race of the season, but still, those are 3 points you could gain to possibly get a higher position. I'm not sure if they do any payout or anything, but if they do, then we'll take a look at that. Is now it looks like Dean Heck is going to be your leader. We got some guys going to pit road. Your leader, Wendell Elliott, is on pit road, as well as a few other drivers. Mikey Neal's going to go to pit road, and Dalton Williamson is going to go to pit road too. So we have a few drivers that are going to try to make pit stops here with about 17 laps done. So again, that will turn the lead over to Dean Heck.
Yeah, and it looks like Mikey Neal has a little trouble getting to his pit box. Slid in there a little too quick, has to back in. You can see your leader is already off pit road. So that's, like we said earlier, you can't have these incidents on pit road like that, because now he's going to be probably 5 to 10 seconds behind the leader. Yeah,
and check in with Dean Heck here again. We'll see just how close. It looks like the 4 Wendell Elliott did get out in plenty of time, that he is not even in any jeopardy of going a lap down. But we want to keep an eye on the lap times. Dean Heck on old tires, 18 laps on those tires. He is running 57-second laps, as we'll check in with Wendell here. We can find out where he is. He's back in 17th now. But we'll see what kind of lap times he's putting in here in a second. That may make a world of difference, those fresh tires, as we'll see his last lap. No, that is not right. We'll check in. Where is he now? We can't find him. There he is. 55.913 was his fastest. as he's now going to run the lap. We'll see. We'll follow him for just a minute. We'll kind of see what kind of times he's going to put down. Again, I have a feeling he's going to run at least a 55, and that is going to pull him away from Dean Heck very quickly.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting. These guys pit on lap 17, or the end of lap 17, start of lap 18, because that means that they would have to make 3 pit stops. Well, they would have to pit 3 times, and then to get to lap 51. Lap 51 would be where they would have to pit last. So with 9 laps to go, that's kind of, you wonder if someone's going to try to stretch something, or if it's just going to just be a fuel mileage race.
Yeah, I'm wondering that myself. As while we were talking, Dean Heck actually just got passed by Jamir Muhammad. So we have a new leader. We've had 3 different leaders now. And if we take a look here, we've had 0 cautions so far for 19 laps of 60. 42 laps to go. 2 lead changes for 3 different leaders. But it looks like Jamir Muhammad is going to pull away quite a bit here over Dean Heck, as he's now got a .516 second lead, and he got by him fairly easy. So we may have a little sleeper here that is going to come in and win this race.
Yeah, we haven't talked much about Jamir Muhammad tonight. I mean, he's been up running fast times all night, and maybe it looks like from his times, maybe he was saving tires a little bit, thinking that, hey, I'm going to get the late advantage here in this run. They may do bonus points for leading a lap, so you know, anything helps, and you never know when a caution could come out and be in their favor.
Yeah, definitely, and if he can stay out there and get a caution, he can pit under caution. That'll save him a lot of time, as somebody is smoking on the front stretch very bad here. Not sure who that is. That's a 72.
Wilson. Yeah, Ryan Wilson from chat. Looks like lap 4 and engine gave.
Yeah, that's not good. Hopefully he can get that to pit road. You never want to be the first caution out here, and it looks like he is. So he definitely has power to get that out there or get it to pit road. So that is good. He is going to be safely on pit road, as we have Jamir Muhammad and Dean Heck both pulling on the pit road together. So interesting to see. Maybe these two are working together with each other. Maybe that's why he got by him so easy. They could be working together, trying to give each other a bonus point there and kind of have somebody to work with.
Yeah, for sure. And 3rd place now is Charles Hoffman. He is currently on the back stretch. His last lap was 58.3, so I don't believe he pit yet. But looking now back to, looks like 5th place here, Justin Starr. He's currently on pit road. So we got these guys, pretty much everybody's been through, if not going to be through this lap. So we should be seeing these guys come back up front. But there's so much space and gaps between 1st and 2nd. It's like crazy, especially with the, what was it, the 85, I believe. Yeah, the 85 of Mikey Neal with his sliding on pit road. That cost him a ton of time. Yeah,
and it was just there watching Charles Hoffman pulling on the pit road, and that's going to give the lead back to Wendell Elliott. So he was the first one to pit, and now he will regain the lead, followed by we'll see who's in 2nd here. And it's still showing the 63. He's on pit road though. So well, there it goes. Jamir Muhammad is going to take 2nd now. Dean Heck in 2nd. So they all kind of filtered itself out here. So interesting. It's still showing 63 on the graph, but your race leader is actually right there, the 4 of Wendell Elliott.
Yeah, it is being a little weird with still shows Charles Hoffman up there in 1st, but he is on pit road, so Wendell Elliott is going to be your leader with Jamir Muhammad in 2nd. And you know, I'm trying to see, it looks like they have about a 6 or 7 second gap between those two. And then back to Dean Heck, he is actually right behind Jamir Muhammad, so about a 2nd gap between them, 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, they definitely have spaced out here quite a bit. Pit stops didn't help that any, as now they are really spaced out. And so we'll take a look back here. We'll see if we can't find a little bit of racing action. To 4th place, John Johnson. He is way behind the top 3 right now. Everybody really spread out. Behind them, Mikey Neal, even after that little incident on pit road, he's back up to 5th, right ahead of Brian Dorsey. So we'll see. Maybe he is going to recover from that. We'll see if he can't get back up to the front and maybe try to get a win here tonight.
Yeah, definitely. And sitting there in 4th place, someone we really haven't talked about all night, but I've been seeing, well, you talked about it earlier with the Snickers, but John Johnson, he's sitting there in 4th place. Car looks good, doesn't have any damage on it, so you never know. We could be coming up through and maybe get the win tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure with the Snickers on there, he would definitely be satisfied with a win here. Even a top 5 would be definitely a good finish for him. But again, this is the championship night. If you're not in the points, what is there to not do? You might as well go for the win. You got nothing else to lose. If you're not in the points battle, which it looks like Dean Heck pretty much has that wrapped up, unless Justin Starr can pull an upset here, which right now it's not. Dean Heck, your points leader, sitting in 3rd place, as it looks like Justin Starr is a little further back. He is back in 14th, so they need to reverse roles if they want to have a chance to get that championship. So everyone else out here, other than those two, it's really all about a win with this being the championship night.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, you got guys out here battling for points. And you have guys out here that are, 15th on back in points that, they just want to get their name out there. You know what I mean? So they're going to do whatever it takes. If that means, skip a pit stop for fuel strategy or, anything they can do to get up to the front, they're going to do. And, we have some guys proving that tonight, with John Johnson and Jamir Muhammad. We haven't really spoke about them a lot tonight, but we've been starting to talk about them, and we're not even halfway through this race yet.
Yeah, definitely, as we take a look there. Again, we have 0 cautions. That is amazing. We did have a big little pile up there at the start of the race, but everyone was able to recover from it. No caution came out. We're already with 36 laps to go, so in 6 laps, we'll be at the halfway point, and we've had 4 lead changes here tonight. Again, Elliott has led 18, Muhammad has led 3, Heck has led 2, and Hoffman has led 1. So we've had 4 different leaders, all leading some, but right now, Wendell Elliott has led the most of 18, and he's still out front, so he's just keep on adding to that total.
Yeah, for sure, and I hate to tell you this, Charles, but it looks like Brian Grubbs did have throughput, so he's no longer in the race, and he's 2 laps down now.
Well, there goes my pick for the race, unfortunately. But again, at least I know my driver that I picked he didn't wreck out. He just had some connection issues there. So it's unfortunate for him, but definitely your driver is definitely the pick to pick from. He is up front, and he's hanging on to that. As again, we're watching these guys. Everyone's still single file out right now. Not a whole lot of passing going on. These guys are very patient about making their passes here tonight.
Yeah, for sure. You don't want to, like we said, there hasn't been a caution yet. You hate to be the first caution, especially for something like taking somebody out. So that we're not halfway through yet. We're just everyone seems to be chilling out. But yeah, like you said, there's a lot of space between all these guys, and with everybody just pitting, it's kind of like they're all on even ground again.
Yeah, definitely. We're looking at their times. Wendell's running 56s, so a second faster on those new tires. He's got 10 on them, so it looks like Wendell Elliott and Mikey Neal both have 10 laps on their tires, so they're on a different pitting strategy than the rest of this field, as you have Jamir Muhammad, Dean Heck, John Johnson, Brian Dorsey, those guys running 6 to 8 laps on their tires, so they're on one strategy, and the rest of this field has about 7 laps on their tires, except for those 2. And also, if you look back here to 15th place all by himself, the number 7 of Brett Messervy has 10 laps on his tires as well. So there are several different strategies going on out here. So that's going to be kind of interesting. I want to see how that plays out here, as we're about 3 laps away from the halfway point.
Yeah, it's a lot of different strategies. This is definitely a track where strategy is important because, like you said, we're with it being a fixed setup, everybody is kind of on the same page a little bit. It kind of more is towards the driver and the experience. But you got to have some sort of strategy, and especially if you're I don't know if these guys are teammates out here or not, but if you have teammate, you can work together with them to try to get some kind of fuel strategy going, and maybe one of the two could get a win.
Yeah, definitely. And we're just going through the field around here. Everyone, even you got a 8-second lead between Wendell Elliott and Jamir Muhammad, and 10 seconds over Dean Heck. So these guys are extremely sorted out right now. It's just very interesting to see. I'm sure if you talk to Jamir Muhammad or Dean Heck right now, they would love to see a caution as long as they're not involved in it, to try to regroup this field once again.
Yeah, for sure, especially considering Jamir Muhammad was 0.3 faster this last lap than your leader Wendell Elliott, but with that 8-second lead, it's going to be hard to knock that down. Yeah,
definitely. As it looks like right now the Ford just got by the 11. So again, that is Dustin Williamson. He is 1 lap down now as he just got by him. So a caution would be very good. As right now you see right there, they are on lap 30. So when he crosses the line one more time, we will be halfway done. And he is still blinking pretty bad, as it looks like we have another car coming out of pit road. So it's going to make it interesting. Halfway done, 0 cautions. So right now, it looks like Wendell Elliott definitely is going to lead this race till the end and possibly get the win. But we'll see. Maybe pit strategy could play a factor. Someone mess up on pit road, and that very well could cost them the race.
Yeah, any little mistake, like any pit road accident or just missing your pit stall, will definitely call it. I mean, 7 seconds isn't much here when you're going 150 plus miles per hour, but Pocono always has a way of making it interesting when it comes down to the wire, so you just kind of got to wait and see.
Yeah, definitely. We'll just have to keep an eye, like you said, and find out who it is. As we'll go check in throughout this field. Again, we got a huge lead. It looks like, if we look here, to Jamir Muhammad back in 2nd place right now. We talked about there was an 8-second gap. It's down to 7.5. So he's actually gained about half a second to a second on the leader. So this could be very interesting. He's only 0.3 off of the leader's times on their last lap. So he is kind of reeling him in. It's just not quite fast enough, but he is knocking some time, as now he's 7.3 seconds off. So that gap is closing for the lead, as we're going to have our first caution. I think it's going to be Reese Milton.
Like the 6 car down the grass as well.
Let's go back and take a look and see what happened to these guys. Take a look and see what happened. That is the first caution of the night. Oh, the 13 gets into the 76. And that is going to involve, I'm not sure how the 6 got involved in this, but 76 getting spun by the 13 of Roger Muth, getting into the back of Reese Melton, spinning him around. So that is what brought out the caution, as we go back up to live here to our leader. For the first time, that is our first caution of the night. 1 lap under caution, and we are now officially halfway done with this race. 29 laps to go.
Yeah, and like you said about the 6 car, it looked like he had to check out to avoid the wreck, and the 38 did get into the back of him, spinning him around. So that is what happened there with the 6 car.
Yeah, and this could be interesting. We just saw some of these guys on pit road, although it was about 14 to 12 laps ago, or 12 to 14, some of these 15 laps on these tires. If I was a betting man, I would bet that we would see just about everyone come down the pit road. So this could be interesting to see. If anybody speeds on pit roads, misses their pit stall, anything like that could hinder your chances of a win. But we'll see right now. Is I do believe, in my opinion, everybody will probably come down the pit road and get some fresh tires.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you're definitely going to want to come down and get fresh tires. We might have a few people stay out. I'm not sure if they're lap cars. I believe they are. But the rest of the leaders are coming down.
Yes, everybody coming down. They got to get those fresh Goodyears. And we'll let all these guys come down at pit road. All your leaders coming down as we switch over to our pit exit cam here, and we'll kind of take a look and we'll see how they come out of pit road here. So very interesting here. It looks like everyone's going to hit their pit stall pretty easy. I don't see anybody missing their pit stall by too much anyway, as we are now just waiting to see. It looks like the 4 of Elliott is going to be the first one to come off, followed by the 68. Not sure who that was. They're all piling in. It's hard to see their numbers there, but
Snickers.
Yeah, Snickers getting out there, but he's definitely satisfied with coming out second place. But notice who didn't pit. Jameer Muhammad. He is a lead lap car. He did not pit. So he has 12 laps on his tires compared to 0 now to Wendell Elliott in second. So this could be very interesting. Hopefully he is experienced with this. I'm sure he is. But stuff like that could cause someone to spin their tires on a restart, and that's what we'll be watching for when they get that green flag here. And a few laps, if he spins those tires, it could stack up the field very easily.
Yeah, for sure. Any slip of those tires, you know, is going to reduce his speed compared to the rest of the field. And going down into turn 1, that might be, you know, that might be bad for if he's going to choose the inside. I know they can choose the inside or the outside, but whichever lane he chooses is going to have to watch very, very carefully, because he may be going a little bit slower than the rest of them.
Yeah, definitely. And it looks like we got a few lap cars in between them, so we'll see if they get waved around there or not. One of them's going to go to pit road now, so he is going to pull off. And not sure who that is, but he is going to pit road. So one less car there. That is actually going to be the 91 of Jim Locking going to pit road. But the 9 should get a wave around here in just a minute, as he is ahead of the leader. We'll keep an eye on everyone else to see who all is going to get wave arounds here, as only one car is officially ahead, and who's going to get the lucky dog if they even do that here.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not sure what what settings they do have on, but there's 15 cars currently on the lead lap. So with Dalton Williamson, the last car on the lead lap, and then Jim Locking will be the first car lap down. Not sure if he is currently on pit road, so not sure if he's going to be getting the lucky dog or not.
And it looks like our leader, Jameer Muhammad, is going to choose the inside lane. Again, he said he has that choice. They can take inside or outside. They're still waiting on the 9 to get his lap back. But it looks like, for the most part, everyone, all the lap cars have gone around, or gone to the back, as they have kind of went back just a little bit. They're not up there in between those leaders anymore.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not sure if Jameer is hoping for a restart wreck or a caution to come out quick. Cautions do breed cautions, so definitely not off the table to have another caution here tonight. But we got a lot of fast guys up here. I do believe that Wendell Elliott on the outside will probably have the best advantage if he can get down into turn 1 and get to the outside of the 14.
Yeah, definitely. And Ryan Wilson letting us know lucky dogs are on. Indeed, a lucky dog will be awarded, and the 9 will be getting a wave around here in a minute to pass the pace car, as he's actually, take a look if we can find him. He is 8 laps down right now. That is Jack Fellers in the 9. So once the lights are off, there it is, and you will see the 9 take off. He is going to pass the pace car and catch up to the back of this field. So looks like it's going to be a good one. We'll see how this restart goes. Again, it could be good or it could be a stack up. We don't know. We have 2 laps worth of wear on everybody from 2nd all the way down to 12th, except for Jameer Muhammad. He has 14 laps on those tires. So this could get very interesting here in the restart.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. He might, if they can get spread out enough, he might be able to keep in the top 5 for the time being, but I can't see, if there's no caution, he's definitely going to fall back. Just with the times being so far off, it doesn't really matter who the driver is. They're going to, fall to the back.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. and it could be interesting. Like we said, if they shove him down to the inside too much, we've seen it with the trucks, and we've seen it with the Cup cars here. You get really loose the further you get down there, and he's starting on the inside with fresh tires on the outside. So the 4 is going to have no problem holding it up a little bit higher, and he could very well stick the 14 down there, and that could cause him to spin out. But all that will be known here in about half a lap or so as the lights are off, and that pace car will be diving in here any second.
Yeah, sure. The person I'm concerned about is John Johnson there in the Snickers car. He's going to really have to be on his toes, because who knows what this 14 car is going to do heading down to turn 1 as the pace car looks to pull off.
And it's weird, this pace car makes a very sharp turn as it's about to do it. Green flag's out, pace car still on the track, but we're racing once again, and it looks like a dead even start for the 14 and the 4, so that is not what I expected. I really thought the 4 of Wendell Elliott would get a good start, and actually he did just get a little bit, and he needed just what he did get, and that is to get the lead. So he's out front once again to lead his 27th lap right now. So this could get very interesting indeed.
Yeah, it looks like everybody makes it around turn 1. Jameer did a great job of getting on into the throttle, making sure he didn't spin his tires. Now he's just going to play defensive until a caution or he has to pit, because that's pretty much what position he's in right now.
Yeah, definitely. And we know Dean Heck. We know he's a good driver, a fast driver, and I can promise you he ain't going to set aside and let the 14 stay ahead of him. He's already trying to get by him, and we'll see if he can do it here to start lap 37. He's already side by side with him, and it looks like he indeed will take that spot from him, as he officially has it on lap 37.
Yeah, and we got some drivers here, a few side-by-side battles. We head back to where Mikey Neal is. He's currently in a battle, about 4 cars there. Just trying to get the advantage. He's going to have to work his way up past these drivers if he's going to make it back to the front.
Yeah, definitely. They know this race is coming to an end now. You aren't seeing single file out. You got people 3 wide as the 55. That is Brian Dorsey gets into that little rumble stripping thing down at the bottom, and almost got that car turned around. He got it way out of shape as he's trying to battle right now with the 44 of Lynn McNeese. So again, they're definitely not giving anything up right now. They're battling like it's the last 10 laps, and quite frankly, it's getting pretty close.
But yeah, we got 3 wide going down to turn 1. Looks like the 14 there trying to hold his own next to Mikey Neal, who's already caught him. But that 55 dives back down to the bottom. It's getting a little antsy out here. You know, you don't want to get, like you said, the farther down the track you are, the more loose your car is going to be. And you definitely don't want to lose control, especially in front of this group of about 5-6 drivers.
Yeah, definitely. And we look back to the 14 of Jameer Muhammad. He is in 5th place, and he's about to lose another spot to Mike Neal, like you said. He is falling backwards very quickly with 17 laps compared to 5. He's not even right now with these guys. He needs to get in and get some fresh tires. And caution is definitely something he's going to need, because if he goes in and pits under green when all these guys have just pitted, he is going to go a lap down very quickly.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, he's definitely holding up these drivers here, and you know, he may want a caution, but you don't want to be the caution, and that's kind of the way it looks like it's headed here. These guys aren't going to put up with it forever. You know, you got the leaders pulling away, the laps ticking down, with we're coming to 20 to go here after our next lap. So, you know, time's of the essence here, and they're going to show him that, hey, you need to get out, you're slower.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like you said, if he does not, I mean, it's clear that he's a little off pace now, and they're trying to get by him. As you see, they're running 56-second laps ahead of him. With him in front of them, these guys behind him are running 58-second laps. It's not because their tires are slow or worn out. It's because they're having to hit the brakes to stay off of the back bumper of the 14, and he's actually going to pull it to pit road now. So he realizes he can't hold them off. He's going to pull it to pit road and get some fresh Goodyears on that car.
Yeah, it was definitely a good effort, you know, and props to him for trying a different strategy. I mean, you know, if you go with the whole everybody else what they're doing, you know, then you got to work your way up through, but got to try something every once in a while, and it just didn't work out for him this time.
Yeah, and what's funny is you look at the top 3 right now. We'll plug it up on the thing. His pit strategy, it didn't work out for him the way he wanted, unless he was just trying to lead a lap. If that was the case, he did do what he wanted. He did lead some laps, but Wendell Elliott way out front. Dean Heck behind him by a little ways. 3rd place, John Johnson there. And look at the gap. He kind of held those guys off, so it looks like he did Wendell Elliott a favor as he kind of slowed these guys down once he got by him, and that put a big gap between about 3rd and the rest of this field.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely with that gap there like that from just holding him up. But looks like Dean Heck is reeling in Wendell Elliott a little bit here. It's going to be interesting to watch. You know, we said aerodynamics might be a little bit of a factor here. Not really sure how much of a factor it is, but Dean Heck is definitely not letting your leader Wendell Elliott get away this time.
Yeah, it's true. And we're watching chat just a little bit. I have Chuck in there, and it's a valid point that I wasn't thinking about. Is as long as he can stay on the lead lap, as it looks like he is indeed back on track and on the lead lap, the 14 Jameer Mahad may not have to pit for fuel again. As we're now with 19 laps to go, actually 20 laps to go on this lap, so that very well could play a factor, but he is well off the lead. So it's kind of, we'll keep an eye on him throughout this race with 19 laps to go. If he gets another caution, that definitely will catch him up. He won't have to pit for fuel probably, and that very well could play out in his favor. But that's kind of stuff we'll have to see with closer to the end of this race. Right now we have about 19 laps to go.
Yeah, for sure, and it looks like the leaders are racing once again. Wendell Elliott blinking a little bit there. But I always said I would be a horrible crew chief because I am horrible with strategy. You know, my one friend, he always has a good strategy, and I always have zero strategy, and he always gets the better hand. So we don't know. Jameer Muhammad's strategy might not be over yet.
Yeah, definitely. He could be banking on a late race caution to get him up to the field, and everyone else having to pit for fuel. Anything's possible, so we're not going to count him out just yet. But we'll keep an eye on him, as it looks like Wendell Elliott, he is able to hold off Dean Heck right now, but I just don't know for how long. Dean Heck is right there on his back bumper by 0.216 seconds, and he's reeling him in now 0.2 seconds behind him, so he is definitely closing that gap very quickly.
Yeah, for sure, and these laps again are ticking down. Race is definitely going to come to a close faster than we think. But you can't let, if you're Dean Heck, you can't let Wendell get away. You know, you got to put the pressure on him. Hope he can make a mistake, and you can capitalize on it. But as you can see, he's coming off. It looks like Wendell Elliott's going to head to pit road.
Yeah, Wendell Elliott, and looks like the 68. Johnson's going to go to pit road as well. So we got a few cars coming, and not sure who that is behind them. Somebody else coming to pit road. We have several cars. That is Dalton Williamson going to go to pit road, and that'll hand the lead over to Dean Heck. So this should be their last pit stops here. So this could be very interesting to see who comes out. You don't want to mess up on pit road right now. That is the last thing you want to do with no more pit stops, as we have about, take a look here. We have 7 lead change. We have 17 laps to go. So with 17 laps to go, this will be their last pit stop. So don't mess up. If you do, you could very well end your night tonight.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be interesting to see. I'm going to watch and see if Dean backs off at all. It doesn't look like he's going to. He's going to take another lap. So not sure if his strategy is, I don't know if he has enough fuel. I don't know the last time he pit. You may have that on your side, but yeah, as far as it is going now, Mikey Neal sits second place, and he's about 2 seconds behind. So
yeah, it looks like both. We'll see. We'll top 4 drivers: Dean Heck, Mikey Neal, Brian Dorsey, and Chad Hoffman, all have 12 laps on their tires, so they pitted 12 laps ago. So the fuel window is roughly about what we've seen. It looks like about 17 laps or so. So I'm not sure. Maybe they actually have more fuel than that. That's when they want to pit for tires. So we're just going to keep an eye on this here tonight and see how it plays out. But right now, like you said, Dean Heck is out front, and he is your race leader. He has now led his 5th lap when he crosses the line.
Yeah, and it looks like we do have a battle here for what looks to be 3rd place between Ryan Dorsey and Charles Hoffman.
Yeah, it looks like Charles Hoffman's going to try to take it pretty easy.
Yeah, down here in the turn 1, let's see what he does. Looks like he backs off a little bit. That's good though. You know, you still have some time. Don't want to dive bomb in there and ruin both your races. So it looks like 55 getting a little loose there. Yeah,
it's like we were talking about earlier. You see when they go into that corner there, there's a real light spot right in there. And that's where there's not a whole lot of rubber down there. You'll see it coming in right here. There's a real light patch down at the bottom. And if you get into that and get into that little rumble strip down there, it will send your car spinning. No questions asked. It is not very car friendly when you hit one of those.
Yeah, for sure. You know, they don't have... not many racetracks do have these rumble strips like road courses do, but this track here does have them, and it looks like the 55 heading to pit road.
Yeah, so we have Brian Dorsey going to take it to pit road now too, and that number 55 Mustang. So again, we still have your leaders up front, Dean Heck, Mikey Neal, and now Charles Hoffman up front that have 14 laps. Right behind them, with only 12 laps on the tire, Reese Milton. So we haven't talked about him a lot. He's got 2 laps less on those tires, which means he pitted 2 laps later. So he very well may have enough fuel in that car. We may be seeing him in victory lane. We'll have to definitely keep an eye on him.
Yeah, for sure. And he was actually the one that was in that caution, the first caution of the race. And, you know, he's definitely recovered. I thought he got more damage than that.
Yeah, definitely. Right as you were saying that, the 44 Landon McNeese got way out of shape. That car was completely sideways. He recovered from it, and now he's going to make a pit stop on the pit road as well. And so he's going to go get some fuel and some fresh Goodyears. So we'll definitely see him back up there, I'm sure. Wendell Elliott, the number 4 car, back in 9th position right now as we're on lap 48 of 60. So we are really closing in on the last laps of this race. And right behind him, quite a ways back, is Jameer Muhammad. So he's up to 10th. He's back in the mix of things here. So he very well may have a strategy that's going to play off for him. It seems like he may not have to pit, and everybody else in front of him has been pitting, as now he's going to take 9th place from John Johnson. So we may have underestimated his pit strategy. He very well may be at least get a top 5 or a win here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they had, like I said, I'm horrible with strategy, so I wouldn't even be able to think that far ahead like some of these guys do. And, you know, they think, you know, 3 pit stops ahead of what they're going to be doing. And it's just crazy to think. But, hey, they're the ones making the decisions. And, you know, if it works out for him, then, you know, good.
Yeah, definitely. I can barely think 10 minutes ahead sometimes. So these guys to think 3, 4 pit stops ahead to work out a strategy like that, it's a definite thinking game, and you got to kind of play it. It's not just about getting behind the steering wheel and driving around in circles all day. When these tires wear, it's just like real life. You got to factor all that in: tire wear, fuel, what your competition's going to do. You kind of got to play around them too. So he may know what he's doing. Is he now Jameer Muhammad's up to 8th place. So he is coming back here, as now Dean Heck is going to start lap 50. So next time by with 10 laps to go.
Yeah, it's ticking down really quick. And Wendell Elliott and Jameer Muhammad, they're both back there in 8th and 9th, like you said. But I'm not sure. Wendell Elliott pit Jameer Muhammad. We're not sure how much fuel. We're not sure if they pit for tires or fuel earlier in the run on lap 17. So we really don't know how much fuel these guys have. So we're kind of like the fans. We're just kind of waiting around to see what happens.
Yeah, definitely is now Wendell Elliott's going to take 6th. 7th is going to go to Jamir Muhammad. So they have 6 laps since Wendell Elliott pitted. 10 for Jamir Muhammad. 17 laps since Dean Heck, Mikey Neal, and Charles Hoffman pitted. As well as 15 for Reese Milton and 17 for Brett. Get up there. There he is. Brett Messervey, hopefully we get that right. He is up in 4th now. So you're seeing these guys that pitted earlier starting to trickle back up to the front. So Wendell Elliott and Jamir Muhammad, Mikey Neal, we may have underestimated their pit strategy here.
Yeah, like you said, these guys... oh, got a car. Oh my gosh, who was that? I don't know who that was. That was a nice save. I've seen nice saves all night tonight. I would not be able to save half these cars that I've seen going around, but other than that, yeah, we've seen a few cars coming up here that we haven't really talked about much tonight. Brett Meservey, he was pretty much running mid-pack for most of this race, and now he is here in the top 5.
Yeah, definitely a top 4th place right now. Reese Melton up in 3rd. We very well could see one of these guys we haven't talked about coming in here to be an underdog. It looks like it's not going to be Brett Meservey, as he is actually going to pull it on the pit road now. He's going to give up 4th position, but he's going to give it up. That's going to be Wendell Elliott and Jamir Muhammad yet again, moving up to 4th and 5th now. So Muhammad's actually going to get a top 5 at least. We'll see if he can possibly get a win out of it. Right now, the top 3, again, Dean Heck, Charles Hoffman, and Reese Milton have not pitted. 19 laps on those tires with 9 laps to go.
Yeah, obviously Wendell Elliott and Jamir Muhammad knew something we don't know, because Wendell Elliott just worked his way up into the top 5, and Jamir Muhammad in 6th place. And like you said, top 3 didn't pit. We don't know if they can make it or not. They do have some leeway. They have 26 seconds to the leader from Wendell Elliott there in 5th, but so we got a car stopped down the back straightaway. Not sure who that is. The 30. Well, it's not the 31, but it's like Ryan Newman's car. We got
I believe that's the 9 of Jack Fellers.
Oh, the 72 into the inside wall off of turn 1. Brian Wilson.
And he is, looks like he's pulled it to pit road, but yeah, the 9, Jack Fellers, slowing to almost a crawl on the backstretch right now. I'm not sure if he's going to make it to pit road. If he stops, that very well bring it out. And there it is. A caution is out with 8 laps to go. This could change everything here, as it looks like Jack Fellers can't get it to pit road. We will have our 2nd caution of the night.
Hey, I said it, man. Pocono knows when to impress, and it always seems like when it comes down to the wire, it can put on a show. And you're gonna see these guys here because they're all gonna pit. Obviously, the top 3 anyway. I'm not sure about Wendell Elliott and Jamir Muhammad, but I would pit. I don't know. What would you do, Charles?
That is a good question. If I was Wendell Elliott or Jamir Muhammad, I wouldn't pit. 9 laps on those tires for Wendell Elliott. It looks like we're probably going to get the green flag with about 5 or so laps to go, maybe 4. We saw earlier Jamir Muhammad had about 12 or 14 tire laps on his tires, and he was able to hold off the leader. Well, he didn't off the leader, but he did get by him. Wendell Elliott did get by him fairly quickly, but he held off the rest of that field for several laps. So you look at Wendell, he has 10 laps on those tires. He is going to have about the same when they go green. So if I was Wendell, it's risky. I mean, again, this is for a championship. It's not for a points battle for these guys. So you could pit, you could not pit. It's kind of a 50-50 split if you're going for the win here tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely a hard place to be in. This caution couldn't have followed a better time for the viewers. Probably the worst time for the racers, but at least the top 3. But man, it's going to be a show. We're going to see here who wants to head down to pit road.
Yeah, and this could get very interesting. I can promise you this: when they get that green flag, you will not see anybody giving any slack to anybody. As we're going to take a look here to pit entry, And you see it, everybody's coming down to pit road except for the lap cars, it looks like. So again, nobody is going to chance it here. They're all going to come down for some fresh Goodyears, and I seriously doubt we'll see any fuel getting put in. They should be good. Some of these may have to put a splash in, like Dean Heck and stuff that have been out there for almost 20 laps. So we'll see here as we're on pit road camera right now. We'll see who's going to come out on front, but everybody on the lead lap is now on pit road. The top 11, 12 cars getting service done.
Yeah, it looks like the 14 is going to make it off pit road first, followed by, I believe, the 64 of Dean Heck. So looks like Jameer is going to take the lead here for this restart. Yes,
very interesting. He had what we thought was a different pit strategy there. But, like we said, it may have played in his favor just now. He stayed out. He had to go into pit road. You know he got fuel while he was in there. So this pit stop under caution, he didn't need to get fuel. All he had to do was get tires. And I would be willing to bet he very well may have gotten just 2. Didn't look at that, and we don't have a way to check that, unfortunately. But if he just picked up 2 tires, he could have easily got out ahead of him, which he did. So it'll be interesting to see if he can hold off this field. As, again, it looks like we'll get it with about 4 laps to go here.
Yeah, I definitely think he got 2 tires because he came in about, what, 5th or 6th and came out first. So there's no way you can make up that much time unless you're going to get 2 tires.
Yeah, definitely. So it's going to be interesting. We got 4 lap cars ahead of him here. So those guys will get waved around as they are ahead of the leader. Somebody getting the lucky dog. It looks like the lucky dog will go to Dan Butler in the 21. So he'll get the lucky dog. Everyone else is going to get a wave around as well, being ahead of the leader. But again, I'm not sure. This could go to anyone, to be honest. Jameer Muhammad, Dean Heck, Brian Dorsey, Reese Melton. Even the top 6, you got Mikey Neal and Wendell Elliott. Those top 6 drivers, it's really anyone's game. I would predict one of them obviously is going to win, but as to which one, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely not sure either. You know, I'm not sure if it's... I know Wendell Elliott has been blinking consistently tonight. I hope that isn't affecting his position and what, you know, his race, because he has definitely been fast. And it's interesting to see if he can work his way up on this restart. He will be on the outside lane for this restart, but you know, I'm not really sure what lane is the best to restart on. We've seen people pass on the outside, and we've seen people pass on the inside on the restarts tonight. So we'll just have to find out what which line Jameer is gonna take.
Yeah, definitely. And again, we'll go through the top 5 real fast as everyone's getting ready here. And it looks like, not sure, Jameer Muhammad just disconnected or something.
Definitely not. Definitely not. It looks like his quality is around 50. Not sure if he's going to fall through or not.
That is unfortunate. Had a strategy that we were unsure of. Got back to the lead and now is showing in 13th right now as not even on the track. So that's not what he wanted to see right now. To have some connection issues. He has been strong all night. So very interesting there. But right before that happened, we were actually going to go through our top 5 real fast, which right now is not accurate. Muhammad is not the race leader right now. That should update here in a minute. But right now your top 5 are Dean Heck, Brian Dorsey, Reese Milton, Mikey Neal, and Wendell Elliott is now. It's going to update. So that is unfortunate for Jameer Muhammad. Not sure what happened, but he is no longer with us.
Yeah, his quality is down to like 16, so, and there he goes. He actually just fell through. So I can assure you that's definitely not part of his strategy. But nonetheless, we are going to get him double wide here and go back green this time.
Yeah, that had definitely not the strategy he had in mind. It's going to be 3 to go when they take the green flag. So we're going to have a 3-lap shootout here.
Yeah, and we still have 15 cars on the lead lap, it looks like. So with Jim Locking catching up to the back end of this field here. So, no, I'm saying anyone in the top 5, top 6, you know, it's anybody's game here.
Yeah, and that kind of was a blessing in disguise for Dean Heck, as he's now going to be your leader. So, good for him, not good for Jamir Muhammad, but we'll see, maybe Dean Heck can pull out a win here now.
Yeah, they're heading down the right across the tunnel turn there. Coming into turn 3 as they get lined up. This will be the last restart of the night, so we're going to have to see if they fan out 4 or 5 wide like the famous Pocono restarts do. Yeah,
and keep it in mind, if they cause a caution now, after this restart, the race will be over.
Yeah. Definitely do not want to cause a caution.
And it looks like, again, this pace car is going to make a very sharp turn here in just a minute. Probably there for the... There it is. Green flag is out. So before the pace car even dives off, the green flag comes out. 3 laps to go here in the closing laps. And look behind Dean Heck. They are just piling up. Dorsey, Milton, Neal, and Elliott all 4 wide going into turn 1 there for just a split second.
Yeah, look right there in the middle. You got the 4 Wendell Elliott trying to make it 3 wide.
Yeah, and he's going to do it.
Got a car down in the grass.
Yeah, it looks like
he's going to save it.
Yeah, he is going to save it. No caution. We're still racing. And the 3 of Wendell Elliott is going to take it 3 wide, makes it 3 wide, makes it stick, and he'll go to 3rd place. He's going to try to run down Reese Milton right now as we're going to try to hang into these top 3 because, again, not real sure who's going to come away with the win. But right now, Dean Heck is out front.
Yeah, for sure. Reese Milton is a trooper, man. He was in that big accident earlier in the day. Didn't get all that damage repaired to his car, but he's out here in 2nd place, and he's actually looking to catch up to your leader, Dean Heck, and possibly get the lead.
Yeah, definitely. It's not one we talked about, but he has made his presence known right now in 2nd place, as he's got a lot of damage to the front of that car. He's still right there. These guys are bumper to bumper for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and they pulled out a pretty good-sized lead over the rest of this field. So we got 2 cars going around. Not sure if that's going to bring out a caution or not. They are in the grass, and it doesn't look like it's going to.
As long as they stay down there, they are coming back up on the track. They need to get back up to speed, or it may end up causing a caution.
And there goes Wilton Elliott. He will get by Reese Milton for 2nd place. Now he's got 2 laps, less than 2 laps technically, to get by Dean Heck if he wants to get a win here.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to pull to reel in your leader, but if anyone's up for the job, I do believe it's Wendell Elliott.
Yeah, definitely. He's 1.066 seconds behind as the white flag is out now, 0.483 seconds behind. I don't think anybody has anything for Dean Heck unless he definitely makes a mistake. If he does that, I have a feeling Wendell Elliott will be there to capitalize, but I don't see that happening. Such a smooth run. He has led 18 laps, and he's going to lead 19, and it's going to be the one that's most important, and that is the last lap of the race.
Yeah, for sure. He came into this race with 3 wins on the season, and he is your current points leader, and he's going to leave here the champion if he can make it through 1 more turn.
Yeah, definitely he will do that. Even if he wrecks out of this race right now, I don't think it would affect the championship, as there's only 16 cars on the race. He needs about 19 to lose it. And it looks like it's not going to happen for Wendell Elliott, as right there your race winner will be Dean Heck. So a good job for Dean to come away with the race win here tonight. Again, it wasn't long. It seems like we just got here. We'll take a look before we get to the interviews. That's cleared out there. We had 9 lead changes. We only had 3 cautions through the entire night. So a very clean race overall for these guys for a 60-lap race at 2.5-mile track.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like Wendell Elliott's going to give a congratulations to the series champion, Dean Heck. It was a great race. You know, those 2, I didn't know who was going to get it. I know we were second-guessing ourselves all night, but it ended up being a good finish there.
Yeah, definitely. But again, folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here in just a minute. We're going to get to the post-race show. So again, we are going to get those through top 3 in here for an interview, and we'll be back here in just a few minutes with that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here with your post-race show. Again, don't have Wendell in here just yet, so hopefully we can get him in here before interviews are over with. But coming in third place, we do have that driver in here, Mikey Neal. So first off, congrats on a third place finish here in the championship final race of the season. First off, we didn't get to cover all the season. This is a one race for us. But overall, how was the season for you? Obviously, you're finishing third here tonight, so hopefully you got a good points finish.
Well, I came in a little bit late also myself, but overall, had a really good season. Came in 3 races out and finished the last 2 races with the pole. So overall, a very decent season, and hoping to have a better one next year.
Well, looking to next season, getting a solid top 3 finish here, does it kind of give you a momentum boost going into that next season, seeing how you did miss some of this one?
Yeah, it's a lot, because the last 2 races, obviously, I started on the pole, and that gives me a huge boost going into these races. And finishing off third here gives me a lot of hope for next season. And, hopefully I can finish well.
Well, we wanted to ask everyone here, and we're going to get to both of y'all. This track is a very tricky track here. What was more important out there? What were y'all's strategy? Was it more of a fuel strategy, or was it a tire strategy out there for pit stops?
Well, both came in a lot at the end, but definitely tires. I was flying around a lot on the long runs, and I was trying to wait for around 5 laps into our pit stops. And I mean, it was really hard to control the car late up on those long runs. But overall, it was decent, and I had more of a tire strategy than fuel. Overall, it was very decent.
Well, again, overall, third place, a great run for you here tonight. Any sponsors, a shout-out you want to give for that third place finish?
No, I'm just here by myself. But I got to give a shout-out to everyone in this league. They do a great job of racing. We only had 2 cautions. Justin Sorry did a great job on this league. And, you got to give them a lot of credit, so.
All right. Well, again, congrats on third place. And it doesn't look like we have second place here with us. So we will jump right over to your race winner here tonight. Dean Heck put on a run here, led 19 laps. And the little birdie that's telling us that also puts you as the season champion here. So you get the win and the championship. First question out of the gate, are you going to be doing some celebrating here tonight?
Yes, sir. There will be some celebrating after the race tonight.
And so, again, the championship's always nice. We don't know if y'all are running for a trophy, a plaque, some cash on the line, or whatnot, but regardless, just the sheer fact of knowing you're champion, just the kind of notoriety and the what comes with being called champion is always a good thing in itself. But you back to the race itself. You dominated the race here. You didn't lead the most laps, but you led the last part of it. How much of this race win here are you dedicating to a good pit strategy? Because pit strategy definitely came into play here tonight.
Yeah, my pit strategy was drive it till it runs out of gas and then go get some more.
That is a good strategy to use. We saw some people pitting for tires, it looked like, but looked like the 14 might have had a good strategy until the caution came out. He was up there. He was definitely moving back, but in the end, it didn't matter. Your strategy worked for you. You came away with the win and the championship. So any sponsors and shout out you want to give for that victory and for the championship?
Nope, just those old Naughty Dog Mustang holding up through the season for me.
All right, well, again, congrats on the win in the championship. But, folks, we are not done just yet. We still have some other business to take care of here before we sign off. So, Brandon, you want to do us a favor and run through those unofficial race results?
Sure, let me bring them up here for you. All right. So coming out with the win tonight and the championship on the season is Dean Heck. Finishing second place will be Wendell Elliott. Third place will be Mikey Neal. Fourth place, Reese Milton. Place will be Dalton Williamson. Sixth place will be David Gainforth. Seventh place goes to Justin Starr. Eighth place goes to John Johnson. Ninth place will be Brett Meservy. And rounding out the top 10 will be Jim Locking. Finishing 11th will be Len McNeese. 12th place goes to Roger Muth. 13th place goes to Charles Hoffman. 14th place, Brian Dorsey. 15th place goes to Dan Butler. 16th place goes to Chad Isner. 17th place goes to Jameer Muhammad after that disconnect. 18th place goes to Mike Mahoney. 19th place goes to Jack Fellers. Rounding out the top 20 will be Randy McCaney. 21st goes to James Zirk. Second, Brian Grubbs. 23rd, we have Dennis Ellis. 24th, Ryan Wilson. 25th goes to Matthew Ellis. 26th goes to John Mustaine Jr. And rounding out the field is Jason Covington in 27th.
And a very strong field. A lot of great racing all night. But we are just about done here, but we're not done quite yet. We do want to cover all the sponsors again that made all of this possible for Max Speed TV. Again, those are Performance PCs, Sim Speed Shop, HRE Motorsports, Elite 7 Racing, and a Virtual2Reality.tv. A big shout out to all of those sponsors for making it possible to do what we do here on Max Speed TV. But on behalf of course, NOSCAR and Max Speed TV, we will see you at the next race. I believe that tomorrow night we run the TND 360 Sprint Series at 8 p.m. Central. So we will see you then, and stay safe.